You are listening to Look Who's Talking. I'm Cameron Minter. I'm your co-host, and our host, Jessica Coffie, is in the building.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well,
good
it's
evening.
Not even evening.
Well, they don't know.
Oh, okay.
We can say it's nighttime. This is a midnight show. We're here at midnight, just kicking it.
Because we don't have nothing else to do.
Right. Nothing else to do. No. How's the heat treating you?
Listen, Cam.
I got a little perspiration on the forehead.
Right. I'm gonna have to think of another hairstyle because it's wig for the summer, baby. It's not working out.
I know, right? Look,
sweating and things under here.
Summer is my season, right?
Uh-huh.
But I think it was you, and I'm just gonna blame you.
Who, me?
Yeah, because one time I said that, and you said, "But you the type that probably sits in the air conditioning during the summertime, right?"
Exactly.
Right. That's me. I mean, not by choice all the time, but my go-to is just sit in the house.
So summer is your season because you intentionally sit in the house.
No,
you just sit in the house.
No, I try to get out. I'm going to be very conscious about getting out and enjoying this weather, sweating in it, just getting, my lights.
Cam, how are you going to be intentional about it this year? What you going to do?
Well, first of all, I'm walking in my neighborhood. That's one.
Ooh,
look at that. Come on, give it to me.
Give
me props. Go ahead, hit me on the back. Go
get
ahead.
It right.
Thank you.
Get
Thank
it
you.
tight.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and just probably I'm really trying to make Georgetown home.
Uh-huh.
I'm having difficulty with that.
Okay.
Honeychild was in Georgetown.
And you didn't know?
And I did not know.
Oh, wow, Cam.
How?
Even I knew that.
How did I not know?
Were you not on social media for a week
I guess so, but, I would expect, I don't know what I'm expecting from Georgetown.
You know what? How did we figure out about events before
right.
Facebook?
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because anytime that sometimes I do a social media fast. I cut it out for a while.
Right.
And I never know what's going on.
Right.
Ever.
So I guess that's the question. Where would I go? I'm expecting Georgetown to give me that information, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I need to connect to some Georgetown social media. Maybe that's it, because I'm tired of not being in the know.
It was on Honeychild.
How is Sharon in Lexington coming to my city, my town? And I don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
You missed a couple of days of social media. It sounds like.
I guess so. Well, that's that, and I'm going to do better. But summer is my season. I'm glad it's here. I'm not going to complain about the heat.
Are you a pool goer?
Yes. Can you swim?
I can swim.
No. See, I can tell how you said it.
Good enough to save my life.
Exactly.
I'm not a put my face under the water.
See, you so bougie. You just like
no, it's not because it's all because I feel like I'm suffocating.
Well, that's the whole point. You cannot swim.
No, I can swim.
Oh my God.
I can swim on my back.
Wow.
Now on my back, I'm an Olympic swimmer.
So Jessica, I'm gonna put you in the boat with me. I cannot swim. I can float. I can get over the pool, but if I can't stand up in the pool,
it's a done deal.
Yeah.
You know how doggy paddle?
So, do you swim in the deep end?
If I swim in the deep end, I can keep myself up.
Yeah, I can too until I get to the side and get comfortable. That's what I'm saying. I need to take a swim class.
Hey, you do. Guess what? I used to teach swim lessons. I promise you can.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get something. I am not
what?
Ready. Yeah, that's not
true. So I used to teach swim lessons.
Oh, in Paducah.
Yeah, in the dirty South, in the dirty South of Paducah.
Anyway, I'm moving right along. I
feel
think
like you
it's
don't believe
time.
me.
Well, I mean, no. When you say things like I can swim on my back, that doesn't give me confidence.
Granted, it was level 1 swim
Sweet
lessons.
Jesus.
But
I think it's time for a coffee
lessons.
break. Feeling right. It's time now for your coffee break with Jessica Coffie.
Okay, so today's coffee break, I just want to let you all know what we are doing in the life of Head Start. One of our big projects / initiatives that we are unveiling or that hasn't been unveiled is our mobile food market.
Yes.
We, took a older bus that we weren't using anymore, and we end up flipping it into a market. So it has shelves, it has refrigeration. We can run some water on the bus. We can do food demos.
We can cook on it.
Yes, we can cook. And I'm excited about it.
I may need to borrow that for a cookout. No, I'm sorry. I'll talk to you offline.
We are excited about it because this allows us to bring food and fresh vegetables in some of our areas that don't have grocery markets or farmers markets close around. So not only will this benefit in Lexington or Fayette County, but this will benefit for all of our counties because we can take it on the road.
There it is.
That's it. This is so exciting, Kim.
The mobile food market.
Mobile food market. And I have a positive affirmation for you today. Just remember, shed anything that keeps you from being your absolute best. Let's focus on being our absolute best. So whatever those things are you need to shed, just get rid of them.
Yes.
Get rid of them.
I'm not a gardener, but I hear that pruning, but I'm a pastor, so no, I don't want to preach. But, when you prune, you cut away those things that are dead so that new growth can come.
That's a word.
And it's a word. It hurts sometimes when you prune.
Yeah.
It hurts sometimes to get rid of some things that are dead. But when you take the time to prune, new life grows.
Preach, Pastor.
I knew it. I just had to get it in.
But you know what?
What's that?
Sometimes there's pain and growth as
well. Come on.
There's pain.
You know when you was growing and you had them growing pains, and they were like, "Why my knee hurt?"
Does that mean I'm growing now?
Oh no, we're done with that. We are done. Jessica.
Yes, sir.
We're having a great show today because we are focusing on the summer. It's summertime. Yes. Our kids are out of school, and
not all of our kids are.
Okay, well, a lot of them are eating up house and home and trying to keep them motivated, activated, and educated. How about that?
Yeah.
We can't have them not being educated over the summer. Is that correct?
Exactly. So when we talk about the summer slide, that's not a line dance.
It's not a ride?
It's not a ride, and it's not a line dance. It is, matter of fact, how about I introduce our special guest? Come on,
bring our guest
Our
in.
special guest today is none other than Debbie Link, who is the executive director of the Child Care Council. How are you doing, Debbie?
I got walkout music.
Wait.
I'm doing well.
Good. So let's just go on and jump into the summer slide. Can you let our audience know what is the summer slide?
Well, summer slide can pertain to kids from preschool all the way up to high school age children, but it really is talking about when they've got a gap in their learning. So that summer slide, you've got 3 months of 2.5 months, that they're not learning, doing structured learning. And so, how do we combat that? How do we make sure that they are still learning during the summer so that they're not losing what they worked hard for all year long?
Right. Are there particular subjects that there's more lost than another?
There are actually reading and math. Math was one of the ones that it's simple, the things you can do to fix that until they get to high school. Because like my 9th grader at home, he just took a geometry test that I could not help him with, so that slide is real though. How do we make sure that he keeps learning, throughout the summer and doesn't lose what he learned and gained all year long? So, but that pertains all the way from our little kids, all the way up through high school.
Now I'm going to say this, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but this new math, bruh. I can't do it.
Seriously.
I don't know. And my grandbaby be like, this is what I got to do. And I'm like, sweetheart, I don't want to make you fail for doing it my way. But that is something new. I understand that they change it up and they eventually come back to my math. But that new math, that new math is beyond me.
I wouldn't even, if I can't do long division, then
regular.
I cannot help you out.
Yeah, we've got my niece is a math teacher, middle school math teacher, thankfully. So she's on our speed dial list.
Yes.
So sometimes we have to take a trip to Louisville just so they can do it together.
I know my limitations.
Yeah.
So, Debbie, I want to know about like the ages. I know, we usually focus on the Head Start age 0 to 5. Is there an age range that you see more of a slide in, or can you tell us about that?
Well, it really is relative to all age groups. When you start talking about preschoolers, for instance, that are in a program that's just, through the school year, and then they take time off during the summer, those kids in particular are really developing social and emotionally. Mm-hmm. And so those kiddos have trouble coming back. They have to, that teacher's worked all year long to develop a relationship with them. And then they have to start over with a new teacher, at the beginning of the year. That's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
But when they've gotten out of the habit of going to school, period, mm-hmm. It's even harder for them to get back into that routine. So, it starts, in preschool and it goes really all the way up to school age. And then when you're talking about your school age kids, and I'm talking kindergarten to 5th grade right now, those kids that have made gains in reading, if they don't read or are read to over the summer, that really is a backslide, mm-hmm. So if they can get, the libraries do all kinds of activities right now that, is a really good way to get plugged in and to keep them loving reading, mm-hmm. And to be excited about it.
Got you. So what I want to ask also, what in particular, like how can the Child Care Council help out with, any kind of summer initiatives or things that parents can do to make sure that, their child continues to be ready when school starts back?
Sure. So we have lots of partners. We partner with First 5 Lex. We partner with the library. We actually partner with the Waypoint Center, mm-hmm. With United Way, and we do a lot of partnership work, obviously, with Community Action. But when that happens, we have any kind of activities that are going on, we will publicize that on our Facebook page. Mm-hmm. So that's a good place to go for a resource, to see what things could be happening.
Got you.
In town. But we also have, we've just developed family resources on our website, so parents can actually go take training mm-hmm. if they want to, that is specific to things that they can do for their kids, on the standards. So we actually have family guides that were developed by the Governor's Office of Early Childhood and KET. Mm-hmm. And these are based on the standards for early childhood. So again, we are talking about preschool kids, for these standards, but you can adapt them to any age, really. But with this, it is kind of a guideline for parents to use. How do we read together? And it'll give an activity to do. How do you talk? What is talking with your kids? And you think it's a no-brainer, but really having deeper conversations with them and asking specific questions, things that you can do to play together. And then we have count together, so math, and then also move together. So physical activities that you can get out and do with your kids, because physical activity is also linked to retention. Mm-hmm. So the more that kids are getting out and doing physical activities, and you can count and skip, do hopscotch, all kinds of things, or activities that you can do that are still enforcing the skills that they learn.
I think one of the important things is knowing, like, you have to take your child away from the technology.
Absolutely.
I see that with a lot of our kids right now, that they're straight to technology.
Yeah. One of my coworkers, she has a No Tech Tuesday, and they go to the library, they go to the park, they do something, but they do not bring out that technology. Wow. And guess what? It hurts her too. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
This past year has highlighted the strength of Community Action Council. Every day, our staff works together to help families recover from this crisis. We're educating children at home and in person, helping parents who lost their jobs, and helping households avoid eviction. Our work at Community Action Council has never been more important than it is right now. So why don't you join us? We have employment opportunities requiring a range of skills from entry level to advanced. Apply online at commaction.org. That's commaction.org.
I love Head Start.
Children love Head Start, and you will too. Community Action Council's prep academies are hiring now. Head Start is an early childhood education program for children from birth to age 5. Help us give more children the Head Start advantage.
Teacher, what are you waiting for?
Join our team of dedicated education professionals. Apply online today at comaction.org. What are you waiting for? Community Action Council has funding available for those struggling to pay their utilities through the LIHEAP Spring Subsidy Program until June 2nd or until the funds are depleted. You must have an appointment to receive LIHEAP benefits. To schedule your appointment, dial 859-300-6960. That's 859-300-6960. You are listening to Look Who's Talking, and our guest today is Debbie Link with the Child Care Council. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. We've been talking with Debbie about this summer slide, and unfortunately, it's bigger than we thought.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we were talking over the break about a monetary value to the summer slide. What is that about?
So when you really start thinking about how much it costs to reteach something that you've already taught, and you put a monetary value on that, it's like $1,500 per student, Wow. So that's a lot of money, and so I would rather see that money invested in a summer program or in, that really is going to continue their education throughout the year. So again, everything has a value to it, and it's so important to really to keep it going and to keep their learning going on multiple levels.
Right.
Sometimes you can't really appreciate it until you put a money value to it. Then it hurts a little bit different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Debbie, I'm interested. Do you see any disparities amongst different groups with this summer slide?
I do. There are, kids that have it goes twofold. There kids that have advantages, that other kids may not have. They may have more access to books, more access to go and experience things where other kids may not. They tend to kind of maintain, not that they go back or forward, but sometimes we were talking about technology. Sometimes that technology can either be a blessing or a curse. It can really, if they use it in the right ways, ABC Mouse and things like that are things that they could learn from and an educational resource, then it may help them. But if it's just getting in front of a tablet, obviously that kind of warps. Takes away everything that they've gotten.
I'm trying to just rip the technology out.
You're denied.
Go outside.
Exactly.
Just because that's what my parents would
that's
do.
what we did.
You go outside and play. Yeah. And you played for about 6 to 7 hours in a day.
Yes.
Yeah. And technology, what is that?
Right.
I had
we was making up games.
Oh. Right.
Being but it's creative. We created, lines on the street for, what was it? Red light, green light.
Yeah.
All those different things.
Hopscotch, double dutch. You do all of that. But it's definitely a different world today. Yeah. One that I'm not used to, but I'm not a kid anymore.
Go!
They don't know how to be bored. Kids
Right.
don't know how to be bored. And so
Right.
they have to be entertained all the time. So really, if we can get them into books or into things like that, that's a whole new world, that is at their fingertips.
And it also explores their imagination.
Yeah.
Because, I could read a book and get lost in it. And I was not a reader when I was younger. Well, I'm really not a reader now. But I'm trying to get into get into books. But, you get in, and I just feel like that stems your imagination, that flourishes it.
To me, it was just like my job, the passion. When you find the right book. Now, I had the wrong books for so long, and I finally got, I want to say, Jack. Anyway, little kid, he was on the river with a criminal. I forget what that book was called, but anyway.
Huckleberry Finn.
Huckleberry Finn. When I got into that, I was
I
like,
read. I
classics.
do
come on, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it took something that was interesting to me before I got interested in it.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the things that combats this summer slide is finding books or finding things that the kids are interested in, because all year long they are reading what the teacher says they have to read.
Right.
Exactly.
And so that's not fun.
Right.
And that's why I didn't enjoy reading as a kid. I love to read now. But another thing that is important is for them as parents to read and their kids to see them reading too, because they know that you value reading, you value the importance of reading, and it really makes a difference for them to see you model that behavior as a parent. It makes, because kids want to be like their parents, and so they want to emulate whatever their parents are doing. So it really is a great way to combat that summer slide, to get
you
them
said
sparked.
something that just really touched home with me, and basically it's regard to student perspective. So many times, we tell children what to do, not allowing them to flourish and not allowing them to have their own mindset and thoughts. But that's definitely one thing we do in Head Start. If the child is, in conversation and the conversation moves to something else, we move with the child. So definitely having that perspective for children, because you know what, they're going to grow up and expect someone to tell them what to do all the time. And that's just not how life works.
No, and it does, when you let them drive the learning, and this can be in all areas. We talked about, all the different areas that you can do as a parent, all the things you can do. But if you let that child, if it's sparked from their interest, they're going to retain it because they're wanting to do it, but it can be anything from when you go into the grocery store asking them, what's your favorite color? And they say red. Well, let's find a fruit that's red. And then them going and picking it out. So those are things that you can do, simple things, everyday things, that you can do, that everybody goes to the grocery store. And that can make learning fun, even in those situations, because sometimes that's not the most fun place to take your 3-year-old.
Exactly.
Well, you're not getting anything. Don't touch anything.
Can I have a cookie? That was me. Can I have a cookie?
Oh my goodness. And the other things on the list that are really pressing right now in making sure that we are staying above and above on our children's education is experiences. Now, I know I talked to you about what you like to do, vacation. And I talked to you and you said you don't necessarily want gifts anymore. You want experiences.
I want experiences.
And I think that also plays a part into our young people's development. I know my grandmother was very insistent that I go to opera.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She wanted me to experience all these different things. Now, after I'm gone and I've done it, I can say either I liked it or I didn't, but at least I had the experience to go off of. And I think that's one of the things, too, that, we're focused in Head Start into having these type of experiences with the kids, outings and trips, and even going outside is an experience when they see things. And I think that's another part in keeping that summer slide from going too far left.
Right. I'm with you with the experiences, because that's what we're trying to provide. As Head Start director, I'm trying to look beyond what they see and go a little bit further, and just want our families and our children to be connected to just all kinds of opportunities, because really that is like one of the best ways to learn.
Yes.
Debbie, do you find that you work with either staff or children or whoever the case may be, that, the experiences is what they...
Yeah, when you kind of going back to books and things like that, when you talk about or read about a book about the zoo, it's all two-dimensional. Right. It's all, they have to use their imagination. But when they can go and see a polar bear, it changes. You can read Brown Bear every day, but until they go see a bear or the things in the book, it changes their whole experience, because there's all kinds of things we learn through our senses, and there's smells, and there's just different feelings and things like that you don't know until you've experienced it. And I do think Head Start does a wonderful job. We've talked about this before, about giving families experiences that they may not have that opportunity to do, and it's such an invaluable resource for them, and a learning opportunity that we don't want to miss. So we all learn from hands-on best. So when we can actually see it, feel it, smell it, it kind of takes hold then. So I think it's really an important resource to offer for kiddos.
If you could give a parent maybe 3 tips for making sure that their kiddos don't lose what they've learned, what would those 3 tips be?
One, if they could read to their kids every day, that would be, no matter what the age, or have family reading time, So I'm going to read my book and you read yours if they're old enough to read their book. And then have conversations about, what's your book about? Even if they cannot read and they can look through the pictures, they can tell you what that book's about or what they think it's about. And then you're having conversations. So it's a conversational piece. Talk to your kids. Don't remember that you can have conversations with them. You can ask them questions. Don't ask them yes or no questions. Ask them questions that they have to use, words, vocabulary, just like the opera. Now that you've been to the opera, you can tell me about it, so things like that.
Those why, how questions.
Yeah. Make sure you're asking those questions. So read, ask questions, and then play. Just play, get down and play with them. We forget sometimes, we're so busy with other things. We forget to be kids, or they're just kids, and we forget to play with them. So, really taking their lead, getting either down on their level and doing things with them, or, showing them a new game. Sit down and play a game together, something like that. Those experiences are what the kids are going to remember, too, forever, so that you took the time to do those things with them. So really just carving out time, giving them your time.
And children really like when adults play with them.
Oh, yeah. Because, every summer I come with the water gun fight. And we buy water guns, we get the water balloons, and it's all out war.
Right. See, I'm more of the let's stand out in the rain.
Oh, yeah. That's good, too. That's good, too. Well, Debbie, we really appreciate you coming on the show today, and we appreciate the information to help us beat this summer slide.
I forgot to talk about the cactus.
Oh, yeah. At least you can start again.
Yes.
For our listening audience, Jessica has killed a cactus. We don't know how.
We don't.
But it is dead. Debbie has brought a new cactus in.
She brought me a new one. Thank you, Debbie.
To murder over the summer.
I'm going to come check on it.
Thank you for coming. Please listen. Please share. Tell your friends. You've been listening to Look Who's Talking.